Okay guys, so how are you? Today we're gonna do the inductive miner algorithm on this log. So we're gonna do it together step by step. First of all, the first step of what we do is we created the DFG graph, meaning we go from the start, we're going to A, and then from A we can go to B, C, or D. Okay, so one time here we go straight from A to B, and then from A to C, and then from A to D. And then we'll look for each one of them. So we'll start with B, and then okay, where can we go? So for B we can go to C, or from B we can go straight to E. So the number you see here is the number of times it's occurred. So from A to B we go 10 times, but from A to D it's occurred only one time. Anyway, so then I create all the DFG graph, okay, according to this log. Now what I do is I see there is a sequence cut here and here. Okay, I already did both of them instead of doing two separate ones because we already looked on how to do a sequence cut, and it's pretty clear that there is a sequence cut over here because there's only outgoing edges from A, okay, and there's only incoming edges to E. So then we know we create a sequence cut, and it's look like this. We start with A, and then there is something with B, C, and D. We don't know what, and then E. Okay? Then the second step is we create the new DFG graph, now without A and D, and E, sorry. And now we can see here we have a XOR cut, okay, exclusive choice, basically. Because we see we can go from A to D to E, and there is no arrow from this part, B and C. It's supposed to be C. It's my mistake when I copied, and here it's D. So you know what, maybe I will even fix it right now. So here we can see there is C, and here is D. Okay, so we can go from A, D to E. So we can go from the start to the finish without having any arrow interacting from these both sides. So meaning this is exclusive choice cut, and now we add the exclusive choice option. So we know we either choose to go to D or something with B and C. We don't yet know what. And then I again copied, so I will just fix it. So here it is C. What happened is we are going from the start to finish, but here we have a parallel cut, and we have a parallel cut because there is arrows going from B to C and from C to B, and both of them go from start to finish. So there is a path from the start to finish using the B and start to finish using C. So this is a parallel cut, and then now we know it's end, and we create this process tree. So we start with A, and then we have to choose between either we go to D or B and C. Okay, and then after that we go to E. Okay, so now we create the syntax representation, the text representation. We can see it's the same thing. We start with A, and then after A we have to choose between D or B and C, and then we finish with E. And here we created the Petri Net, and just to note, I had to add two silent activities here and here to create the effect. So we'll explain. We start from A up until here, it's easy, and here we have to choose an exclusive choice, so it's easy. We can choose to go to D, but here there is an end, and in order to do an end we need a transition, but this is an exclusive choice, so we have to do a silent transition that will create an end split here. And then we do B, and again now we have to do both B and C, so we cannot just connect it straight to here from B and C. We have to create another silent transition that is end join, meaning you have to get also B and C. So here we have tau 2. And then this is a choice between either this path, which is AD, or the A, B, and C. And here, just another copies error. I copied, sorry guys, this is the E transition, and the here E is supposed to be end, so this is like the end. Okay, this is the start. So just to be sure, this was the E join that would go after we choose either to go from this path or from both of them. Okay, so hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe, and let's now jump into the code. Okay, so here there is a lot of imports, and what I did here was creating the traces. I also wrote which trace I created each time and how many copies of each one. Now I moved everything into a data frame. I renamed the columns just to be easier. Then I created the event log, okay, by applying the log converter, which we already imported it. So if we look, the log converter is here. We already have it. Then we apply it on the data frame. Then we applied the inductive miner on this event log. So we created the process trees, and you can see that when we created the process trees, you can see that they actually create the same representation we created manually. So the process tree, and then here we create the Petri Net. So this creating the actual net, this is the starting place, this is the end place. And now what happened is we visualize each one of them. So the first one is the tree, the process tree we created, and the second is the Petri Net. And you can see that also here, he added the two silent activities. Okay, so hope you like this video. Please like,